The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
81 over Queens. Chuck, Jamari Smith 3 at the horn is what ends up sealing the deal for Queens in this one. But it underscores what was truly a fantastic game. A heavyweight prize fight between preseason 1 and 2 in the South Atlantic Conference. Yes, you lose this one, but high-quality basketball on display tonight here inside of Holt Fieldhouse.
Yeah, if you're sitting here tonight watching this one, you were entertained. Let me say congratulations to Coach Lundy and his staff and his team. They got the win. So congrats to them. I just hate it for our guys. I thought we really played well enough to win and showed enough resiliency, enough determination, enough commitment to what we're asking them to do. It just didn't happen. I mean, it could have very easily happened. It didn't. We had some guys that individually that did some great things. We did all this obviously in the midst of losing Trip Davis going into the second half after he scores 10 and is playing really well the first. But there's a lot more positives than negatives despite the outcome, and I'm not deflated. We've got to bounce back for an out-of-conference game next Tuesday, and we're going to learn. I think we're learning. I think we're evolving in a positive way. So we'll just see where we go next.
On display today, the emergence of John Zhao, the freshman, 18 against a top 10 team. He goes 6 of 8 from long distance. What did you see out of him? Spotting up for some efficient threes to bring you back after you fell down by 9 after halftime.
Yeah, well, there's a reason he's here. There's a reason he's playing, and it's nothing. It's nothing about the players that we had here already. He's just proven that he is an incredibly efficient shot maker. He's a team above all else guy. He come in and spent a lot of time trying to more or less catch up with what we do defensively. He and assistant coach KT Carter have done a lot of work. He and Clenzo Ross and Joe Larry, two of my grad assistants, have spent a lot of time in the gym. But the credit goes to John for putting in the work. And so we needed him to make those shots tonight. He did it, and I'm sure he goes into the next game with a great deal of confidence.
This one ultimately, in my mind, boils down to turnovers. 16 giveaways on the day. Queens with a 23-5 edge in points off turnovers. What did they do to promote ball insecurity?
Well, of course, they're an elite defensive team, first of all, and they apply a great deal of pressure on the ball. That was some of our turnovers. There were other turnovers that weren't directly related to ball security. They were more execution based. So we'll continue to work on that, and our guys will continue to gain confidence. But no question, Cav. I mean, our turnovers led to 23 points for them according to the stat sheet, and we can say all that, and they still have to make a shot at the buzzer to win. Mm-hmm. So, in some odd way, and in my warped mind, I sit here and think, well, the game was ours with 0.1 seconds to go, and they still made it 3. So, we've got to do a better job limiting turnovers, and obviously we continue to sort of struggle with our defensive rebounding. I thought that was a big part of it too, and their offensive rebounding, our defense rebounding, and our guys hopefully will find a way to secure those balls with more determination too.
You bring up the rebounding. At the end of the day, Queens is only +2 on the glass. But that was watching that statistically was like watching a roller coaster. You'd fall behind. Or on one stat, that's interesting. Live stats, it's +2. On the final stat sheets, it is even. So we'll go with dead even. But at times it was Queens would be +8 on the glass, and then you'd rebound the ball on 8 straight possessions,
Yeah.
and minus that out. But that I felt like that helped Queens build their lead in the second half.
It did.
Some elite offensive rebounding.
Well, no question. I mean, no question. I mean, Jamari Smith, they've got 3 preseason all-conference players, 2 of which are first team. Those guys showed why they're first team, but Jamari Smith and Gavin Raines are probably, I think, along with our guys, some of the most committed and determined players in this league inside, and so credit to them. Those guys did their part. Jamari Smith had 10 of them, But then I turned. Our Brian Thomas had 11 of them. So it was a battle, man. But again, when you get right down to it, man, I mean, with under a second, they make that shot, And it was an offensive rebound dagger 3 is what it was. It was an offensive rebound dagger 3.
I didn't even see a shot. I got completely screened in.
Yeah.
I had no clue what happened on the left block. Just the ball flies out, and Smith knocks down. So it wasn't off. They did get a shot off offensive rebound to the 3 to scramble it.
Yeah.
All right. You brought up it earlier. Trevecca comes to town on Tuesday. You have played 2 dandy physical contests that have been tooth and nail affairs against Tusculum and now Queens. Accounted for yourself very well in terms of the performance outside of the final score. How do you work through that with a short turnaround and the Tuesday before Thanksgiving and the Trojans coming in here?
Well, there's no question, man. These last 2 games have been battle royales. But man, I was talking to a coaching buddy of mine that has been a head coach for years and spent time as a head coach at the highest of levels. And he was like, "What are you thinking? How you feeling?" I was like, "Man, I love my team. I love my team." And he said, "Good gracious, that's a pretty profound statement." I was like, "Well, a lot of people may like their team. They may have some positive things, but I love these guys, and I love their determination. I love their resiliency. I have no question in my mind that we'll be ready to go come Tuesday. I do hate it for them that we're experiencing these things, but we choose to believe that these experiences are for our good, and it's what we need now. If somebody tells me, have you ever thought that maybe you need this now to be the best version this team could be later, then I can accept that, and I think our guys will accept that. If this is what we got to go through right now to learn to be the best version of ourselves, then so be it. It's uncomfortable. It's not necessarily fulfilling, but when you have that sort of viewpoint of what we're experiencing, then I think there's hope, and I can't wait to get back with them to go again.
All right, Chuck. Pleasure as always. We'll talk to you Tuesday against Trevecca.
Great. Thanks, Cav.
That is Carson-Newman head men's basketball coach Chuck Benson. Eagles fall at the Horn. Just the 3rd buzzer-beating loss that Carson-Newman has experienced in the last decade.